Salento is a tiny mountain town in Colombia's coffee region, part of the famous coffee triangle and where most of the country's beans are grown. It's surrounded by rolling green hills, colourful streets, and it's the gateway to the Cocora Valley, home to the world's tallest palm trees, the Quinido wax palms. By day, it's peaceful, full of coffee, aroma, and mountain air, but as night falls, it comes alive with the crack of gunpowder. Locals playing a sport unlike anything I've ever seen. We left Cartagena, flew to Armenia, and took a local bus into the hills.
We have landed in Salento.
On first impression, Salento felt like stepping back in time. Low colonial houses, grid-like streets, and every balcony painted a different colour. The first stop in coffee country? Coffee, obviously, and lunch.
First coffee here.
It is called Casa de la Ruiz. We've ordered breakfast, and they've got like a special veggie burger that they do as well, which I'm very excited for. Super reasonable compared to where we've just come from. Wrapping my Colombia top today as well.
Yummy. When you're travelling, it's quite easy to fall into the trap of eating cheaply, but unfortunately that can mean quite unhealthy. So this is really nice and refreshing.
So Sam gave her spiel about having healthy food, and here I am eating this massive burger.
At the top of town, we checked into Coffee Tree Boutique Hostel, a bright open space with mountain views.
One of my favourite things is actually that there's a big communal space that you can hang around in, with these huge windows that overlook both Salento and also like these vast green forest. We've got 2 full days here, and one of the days we want to do a coffee tour, another day we want to do this hike. We've checked the weather, and lucky for us the weather on both days looks absolutely awful, so I think we're just going to bite the bullet and do the hike tomorrow. Other than a few backpackers that are here, there's really not many tourists at all, which is really cool. Just local people hanging around, wearing hats. Seem to love a hat here.
A short stroll through the town brought us to Plaza de Bolivar,
the main square of Salento, and this is where you get the jeeps to all of these different places, because a lot of the roads are like off-road dirt tracks. And actually now I've moved into this part of town, it's proper buzzing. Take a look at this.
As the sun dropped behind the mountains, the pace slowed until a single bang echoed through the streets. When you think of Colombia's national sport, you'd probably guess football, and you'd be wrong. It's called Tejo, a centuries-old game from the indigenous Muisca people that involves metal, clay, and explosions. We followed the sound to a small Tejo hall, where locals were hurling metal pucks at clay targets while sipping beers.
Like that?
Here's how it works. You throw a metal puck, the Tejo, towards a clay board with a ring in the middle. Around the ring are tiny triangles of gunpowder called mechas.
Explosion 3 puntos.
Okay.
¿Sí? Centro 6 points. Explosion y centro 9 points. Si caen acá el más cercano, 1 point.
My puck is now in the mud, and I think I've got to fish it out of the clay.
And Sam didn't want to ruin her nails, so here I am fishing 2 tejos out every single time.
That has to be one of the biggest bargains. 1,500, so the equivalent of about $4 per person for a game of Tejos plus a beer.
The next morning was wet and misty, perfect for a hike.
So one of the famous things to do here in Salento is to go to the Cocora Valley. It's famous because it has the tallest palm trees in the whole world. There's a big loop hiking track that you can do in Cocora Valley, which we were planning on doing because it looks really cool. But a lot of locals here have warned us against it because they said because it's been raining for the past like 3 or 4 days, and because it's really misty today, they were like, 1, you're going to be knee deep in mud, and 2, you may not get much view. So there's a shorter loop that we can do in the same area, and we're keen on going anyway because we're here. So let's go and find ourselves a jeep. headed to Cocora Valley.
The mist added an air of mystery and moistness, and it would have been nice to be able to see the valley and the trees.
It is currently very rainy. We've got the option of the longer hike, 4 to 6 hours, or the shorter hike, 2 to 3 hours, and we are going for the shorter one because of the rain. The palm trees though are pretty cool already. Have a look at that. This is what life has come to. We're eating a sandwich, sheltered underneath the shade of a tree before we start a trail because it's raining so much. Viewpoint number 1. Lovely views of some cloud.
We're just trying to imagine what it would look like. I think what is behind us is this really nice valley with all these palm trees.
That is Mirador 2, second viewpoint, the final one. Not convinced I'm going to get much of a view from here, but still really cool to walk in this misty forest. The guy that we're staying in the hostel with, in our dorm, said you need to come to Mirador 2 and try this passion fruit tea. He said it's the best tea he's ever had in his life. That is delicious tea. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like mulled wine.
Oh my god. Oh man, that's so yummy.
Es una infusión.
Sí.
Tomas el agua, panela, clavos, canela, anís, maracuyá, lo pones todo a hervir.
Gracias. It's really nice. It's muy delicioso.
Sí.
As we headed back down the trail, the Cocora Valley gods heard our prayers.
We have our first little glimpse of anything that is not just misty trees, because you can see the valley now in the distance.
The clouds started to part, revealing the magnificent valley below. The Quindío wax palms in the Cocora Valley can grow up to 60 meters tall, making them the tallest palm trees in the world. They've evolved this height to reach sunlight above the dense Andean cloud forest, stretching through the mist to find light.
We can really see now the context and the valley, the sheer size of these trees, this green grass, and how well kept this place is. Beautiful spot. Definitely worth coming to Salento just to see this.
They're really unbothered, aren't they?
We jumped in the back of a Jeep, and I literally mean on the back of a Jeep, standing up because there was no room.
So we're back in Salento now, and now we're here in the daytime. You can see how beautifully colourful this place is, and it kind of reminds me of like an old western town in America. A lot of people wearing hats and ponchos.
It was time for lunch after our wet walk, so we stopped at Coco Bowl for a cold brew, Buddha bowl and acai bowl. If you've been following the channel, you know these are my obsession, and if you haven't, then I'd really appreciate a cheeky little like and subscribe to support the videos.
This food looks amazing. Tried to get an acai bowl in Colombia for like weeks. Every time we go to a place that says they have it, they end up not having it. Today's the day. And it even says amor on it. Delicious. ¿Eres de Salento?
Sí.
Oh, cool.
Toda mi vida.
Going for a horse riding trip that will end at a coffee farm for us.
Horse riding is one of the best ways to see Salento. It's how locals have travelled through these hills for generations. We mounted our trusty steeds and navigated the roads of the city into the countryside like cowboys, with our guide Nicholas, who looked like a real gangster.
These views are just unbelievable.
We descended into the river, and I've done a lot of horse riding, but never anything like this in my life. We were literally riding upstream through a river. Definitely a little scary and also very wet. Then Nicholas turned to us and said, "Kiran ir rápido?" And before we knew it, the horses were galloping at full speed through the Colombian countryside. This was Sam's first ever time on the horse, and these horses were actually galloping. Que loco.
Absolutely crazy. Like, I've never been in such a cool situation. It's been so much fun in the Colombian countryside. This is what you imagine when you think about an adventure abroad. Now arriving at El Ocaso coffee farm. What a way to arrive at the place. It feels like we're in a game or something. Salento, which is really famous for coffee, and it's one of the must-do things when you're here. Those that were recommended to us, the Hostel recommended this one and so did someone else, which is why we were like, let's go and check it out. There's 2 different types of tour you can do. We've chosen to do the slightly shorter tour, which is 1.5 hours. The longer tour is 3 hours. It was absolutely epic turning up here on a horse as well. Like, 10 out of 10 would recommend.
We strapped on our coffee picking baskets, learning how the red cherries are picked, washed and dried before they're roasted and ready to become coffee.
We're hunting for the coffee. It's not the coffee season, but looking for the red fruits to pick. Oh, I think I can see one.
Got a little bit of red. That's not fully red, Kiran.
It's only half red, but we won't tell anyone. And there's 2 slimy beans that come out. One of them we actually ate, and it tastes weirdly sweet, like a fruit. And the other one we planted, and it was actually quite cool because he gets everyone to plant them in the same place. And you see other people's from a while ago that have grown up and started to sprout.
After grinding the beans, it was time for a proper Colombian tasting, using the traditional method locals call grandma's sock. It's a cloth filter shaped like a sock, and you pour hot water slowly over the grounds, bloom the coffee, and then let it drip into the cup below.
Welcome. Okay, guys, don't drink it yet. We do it together.
Oh.
Salud.
Salud!
We tasted it the proper Colombian way. First sip, bitter. Second sip, softer.
And why it gets softer? Because your mouth gets used to the flavor, and you start feeling new things, and the bitterness you feel on the first try, you just don't feel it anymore.
And the third revealing the true flavor of the coffee.
And there you have it. And the third try is when you get the actual flavor that this cup of coffee.
I think this is the sweetest coffee I've ever had. So nice.
It's black coffee that tastes really sweet.
It was smooth, balanced, with notes of caramel and citrus. And yes, it really did taste better from Grandma's sock, the delicious smell of feet. That's Salento, Colombia's coffee capital, cowboy country and home to the palm trees that touch the clouds. If you're planning your trip, make sure this place is on your list. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the rest of the Colombia itinerary.